Welcome to our home buying education series. Today's topic is pre-approval and mortgage pre-qualification, and what's the difference and how does this all work? So it's really very simple. They both start out the same way. You're going to get a link from your mortgage person that you've decided that you want to use or that you're shopping with, one of the two. You're going to complete that online application. But before you get started on that application, make sure you have all of the documentation available to you so that you're not having to log in and log out and go and search for things. That can get very frustrating. So here's a short list of the things that you're going to need. You're going to need the legal name of all of the borrowers. Now, if you don't want to sign your middle name on all of the closing documents, then don't put it on the application. But keep in mind, whatever name you put on that application is how your deed is going to be. So if you do want your full legal name on the deed, then you'll need to put that on the application. You're going to need social security numbers and dates of birth for all of the borrowers. You're going to need a 2-year address history for all borrowers, as well as at least a 2-year employment history. Now, with the employment history, you're going to need your start date, the address of the employer, and a phone number for human resources if possible, or a supervisor. That would work as well. But they will need to verify your employment, so they're going to need that information for employers of all of the borrowers. So once you have all of this information together, then you can sit down and start entering it into the online system. Once that's done, the loan officer will get that, they'll review it all and pull your credit. Now, this is where we get some differences. Some loan officers at this point will also want you to upload all of your documentation. 2 months worth of pay stubs, your W-2s for the last 2 years, 2 months worth of bank statements, and that's usually a good starting point for all of the borrowers. Then they can review the income and assets that you've put into the application and make sure that they have accurate documentation for that. So when you're filling out the app, just a little side note, when you're filling out the application and it asks for how much you have in your bank account, for instance, get your last statement and put the ending balance for that statement onto the application. And then it will match the statement, and that's how they match everything up. So what makes the difference in the pre-approval and the pre-qualification is at this point, they will take all of that documentation, your application and your credit, and submit it to an underwriter. That underwriter will review everything and approve or decline the file. With a pre-qualification, just the loan officer and their processing staff reviews everything. Now, most loan officers that have been in business for quite a while, they're pretty good at what they do. So a lot of times there's a difference because you're not through the underwriting process, but the loan officer does know what they're doing and can say for sure whether or not you'd be able to get your loan, as long as all of these things don't change in the future. So when you submit an offer, you do have to have a letter saying that you've been pre-qualified or pre-approved to purchase a home in a certain price range. And that's what they can issue next. Once all of this has been done, they can give us that letter. So when we go out and we put offers in on properties, we can give them this letter. The listing agent can call that loan officer and verify that you are ready to go on your loan. So there is a difference technically, but as far as putting offers in on properties, there's not a huge difference. But you do need to make that loan application as complete as possible and include all of your documentation that the loan officer needs. So I am Patty Laforte, NoMoreRentalsForYou.com. I'm helping renters become homeowners.